everyone, my name is Elizabeth, and we're going to be going through a warm-up today. So we're going to start with some toe taps, and we're just going to bring our leg across our body and reach across with our diagonal arm. We're going to do these for a couple of seconds and just get started warming up. After this, we're going to transition into jumping jacks. We're going to transition into those jumping jacks in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you can either do side steps, or you could also go up to jumping jacks. Just getting our heart rate elevated. Make sure to take a couple deep breaths here. We're going to stay here for a couple seconds. And then we're going to go to high knees with some arm circles. We're going to switch to those high knees in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Bring those knees up. We're going to add in some arm circles. Take a couple deep breaths here. Make sure to keep those arms nice and straight and engaged. If you want to increase the intensity of this, you could increase the speed of those high knees. After this, we're going to switch to some hamstring curls. Also change the size of those arm circles. We're going to switch to those hamstring curls in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bring our legs out behind us. Again, if you wanted to increase the intensity of this, you could increase the speed. We're going to stay here for a couple more seconds. And then we're going to go into a crab walk. We're going to go into that crab walk in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you're going to go down into a half a squat position. You're going to take a step to the side, another step to the side, and then go the opposite direction. Make sure you keep this movement nice and slow and controlled. You could also go into a little bit of a deeper squat if you wanted to increase the intensity. Make sure to keep breathing here. After this, we're going to switch into some calf raises. Make sure to keep your core engaged. We're going to switch to those calf raises in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to come back to standing. And we're going to lift our heels up in that calf raise and slowly lower down. Up, slowly lower. If you wanted to increase the intensity of this, if you have a box or a mat or something, you can go to the edge of that mat or the box and increase the range of motion on that calf raise. So you can take a couple deep breaths here. Okay. Then after this, we're going to switch to some bicep curls with an overhead press. We're going to switch to those bicep curls in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to come back to standing. We're going to have our palms facing out in front of us. Bring it up in a bicep curl. Keep your elbows to your side. We're going to flip our palms to out in front of us and then press up in the overhead press and slowly lower down. Flip your palms again and lower. Going to do a couple of these. Make sure to keep these movements nice and slow and controlled. After this, we're going to switch to a row with a tricep extension. We're going to switch to that row with a tricep extension in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so we're going to bend at our hips, with a slight bend at our knees. Don't walk your knees out. You're going to have your hands down in front of you. You're going to pull your shoulder blades back in a row, and then you're going to kick back in a tricep extension. And slowly lower down. Make sure to really squeeze your shoulder blades here. Keep your elbows tight to your side. Make sure to keep a nice flat back and your core engaged. After this, we're going to switch to some push-ups. Let's do one more of these, and then we'll switch down to those push-ups. Okay. We're going to go down to the mat, into a plank position, and then we're going to go out to a push-up position. So you can either do these push-ups on your knees, go down into a push-up, or you could also do a full push-up. Make sure to keep that back flat, and make sure to keep your wrists underneath your shoulder blades. Make sure to keep your core engaged here. Okay. After this, we're going to switch to some mountain climbers. Let's try to do a couple more of these. We're going to switch to those mountain climbers in 3, 2, and 1. So again, we're going to stay in sort of a plank position, have our feet out behind us, and then we're going to step up into a mountain climber. You could also increase the intensity of this by increasing the speed, or you could just step up. Make sure to keep your back flat here, core engaged. We're going to switch to bird dogs in 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to be in a tabletop position, and you're going to take your left hand and your right leg. You're going to extend out in a bird dog. Get back down to the mat, and you're going to take your right hand and your left leg, bring it up in bird dog. And then you can also add a crunch in the middle of your leg. Make sure to breathe here. After these bird dogs, we're going to switch to some fire hydrants. We're going to switch to those fire hydrants in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so we're going to stay in our tabletop position, and then you're going to bring your left or right leg directly out to the side. And then you're going to switch. Make sure to squeeze your glute at the top there, and slowly lower down. Make sure to keep your back flat here, and your wrists underneath your shoulder blades. After this, we're going to switch to a downward dog. We're going to switch to that downward dog in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So from our tabletop position, we're going to slowly press up into a downward dog. Stretch out the back of our legs here. You can walk out your downward dog at first if you would like to. Then after this, we're going to go into an upward dog. We're going to switch to that upward dog in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to slowly come down. You could also go down to your forearms here. Stretch out our core here. After our upward dog, we're going to go into a pigeon pose. We're going to switch to that pigeon pose in 3, 2, and 1. You're going to slowly press up, and then you're going to take your right leg and bring it into the front of the mat. And extend that back leg out. Make sure to keep your chest up here. Take a couple deep breaths here. If you wanted to increase the stretch, you could take your calf and try to bring it parallel to the front of the mat. You're going to switch to our opposite leg in 3, 2, and 1. Out. And bring the opposite leg forward towards your wrist. Make sure to keep your chest up. And after this, we're going to go to a seated position on the mat, and we're going to do some Russian twists. Take another couple deep breaths here. We're going to switch to a seated position in 3, 2, and 1. Seated down on the mat. And then we're going to do some Russian twists. So you're going to twist to one side and then twist to the other. And you could also increase the intensity by lifting up your heels. Deep breaths here. Make sure you keep a nice flat back. After this, we're going to switch to some crunches. We're going to switch to those crunches in 3, 2, and 1. So you're going to go back on the mat, and you're going to cross your arms over your chest. You're going to lift up in a crunch. Lift your chest towards the ceiling, and slowly lower down. Take a couple deep breaths here. After this, we're going to switch to some glute bridges. We're going to switch to those glute bridges in 3, 2, 1. So you're going to put your arms down beside you on the mat, and you're going to lift your hips towards the ceiling. And slowly lower down. You can also increase the intensity of this by raising one leg. Slowly lower down. We'll do a couple of these, and then we're going to switch to a butterfly stretch. Okay. If you did decide to raise a leg, maybe switch to the other leg. We're going to switch to those butterfly stretches in 3, 2, and 1. Slowly raise up to the seated position. And you're going to put the soles of your feet together out in front of you. And slowly let your knees fall to the side. Make sure to keep your core engaged here. Keep a nice posture. Take a couple deep breaths. If you want to, you can also walk your hands out in front of you. A little bit more of a back stretch. We're going to switch to a seated hamstring stretch in 3, 2, 1. So you're going to bring right leg out in front of you, bring your left leg towards your thigh, and then slowly walk your hands towards your toes. And only go to as deep of a stretch as it feels good to you. Take a couple deep breaths here. We're going to hold this for another second. And we're going to switch to the other side. We're going to switch in 3, 2, 1. Switch out to the other leg. Again, walk your hands towards your toes. If you wanted to increase the intensity of this, just try to stretch a little bit deeper. And after this, we're going to slowly go to standing and do a bicep stretch. We're going to slowly go to standing in 3, 2, 1. Make sure to slowly raise up. Then you're going to do a bicep stretch. So you're going to bring your right arm out in front of you with your palm facing out. And grab it with your left arm and bring your wrist towards your body. A bicep stretch. Now hold this for a second, and then we're going to switch to the other side. We're going to switch in 3, 2, 1. Switch to the other arm. If you want to increase this stretch a little, you can apply a little bit more pressure towards your body. But make sure that it's only to a point of a stretch, not painful. We're going to switch to a tricep stretch in 3, 2, 1. Release our arms. Bring our right arm behind the body. Grab your right elbow with your left hand. You're going to try to have your hand sort of between your shoulder blades. Make sure to take a couple deep breaths here. We're going to switch to the other side in 3, 2, 1. Release that arm. Bring your left arm back behind you. Take a couple deep breaths. And then we're going to switch to a quad stretch. We're going to switch to that quad stretch in 3, 2, 1. Use that tricep stretch and bring your right leg behind you. Try to keep those knees parallel. Keep that core engaged. You can use a chair next to you for balance. Also try to find something that's still in the room to look at for balance. We're going to switch to the other leg in 3, 2, 1. Release that stretch. Make sure to keep those knees parallel. Keep that core engaged. Then we're going to switch to a chest stretch in 3, 2, 1. Release that quad stretch. So you're going to bring your arms out in front of you and open up your back. It's a back stretch. Take a couple deep breaths here. And then we're going to switch to a chest stretch. So we're going to release that stretch. And then you're going to lace your arms back behind your back and puff out your chest. If you wanted to increase the stretch, you could also hold forward. Okay. Now for this, we're going to switch for one last cardio, and we're going to do some jumping jacks. We're going to switch to those final jumping jacks in 3, 2, 1. Release that chest stretch, and then you could either do those side steps or you could do those jumping jacks. Make sure to increase your heart rate a little. It's our last exercise, and then we'll be done with our warm up. Do 10 more seconds of these. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, good job. Thank you.